Hello and welcome to day 38, part 2. And yeah, we are continuing. Miss Summer Benton is finally off the stand. She will be she has been temporarily excused, which means she will be back. Ooh, I actually don't think so. If the prosecution has any yeah, they shouldn't, because she proved to us all that she seems to be an honest cop who testify honestly. But this means we can get back to the rest of the day. All right. Yeah, let's get right into it. Let's see who's next.
Yes. All right, Ms. Ladners, please approach the witness stand. All right. Raise your right hand and take the oath.
I do. Sharon Latners, SHARONLATNERS.
Welcome back, Ms. Ladners.
Okay,
I hope you're doing all right, sir.
I am. Thank you.
Now, Ms. Ladners, I want to hand you a couple items that we're going to talk about today, all right? I'm going to...
Yeah, this is the second time she's on the witness stand, and she is equally happy this time to be there. And it shows.
122 Charlie, which includes subsections Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, 120 Charlie, 121 Charlie, and 122 Charlie, subsection Delta.
Okay, seems to be... I hope the defense knows anything about this, because I don't. Skip ahead. What's going on here? Oh, the wall of... How long will they stand there? For a bit more. Here we go. Let's see what the prosecution has to make a testify on this time.
Your Honor, I am approaching the witness after speaking with the defense counsel with 120 Charlie and 122 Charlie, subsections Alpha through Delta. Ms. Ladners, I'm asking you a couple questions about that. Ms. Ladners, what are those items?
You have a copy of the CAD report. You also have audios from the two CDs.
And how do you recognize those?
The CAD report has my initials on top, my initial with my name. The audio has my initials on them.
Are they a fair and accurate
depiction of the
Oh,
cab report and the radio traffic related to this incident?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to admit into evidence State's Exhibits 120 Charlie and 122 Charlie subsections Alpha through Delta.
allergies,
You said
nervousness.
120 Charlie and 122 Charlie, Alpha through Delta?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Council's any objection from states to states 120 Charlie or 122 Charlie subsections A through Delta?
Oh, I have a quick pause. Friday is closing arguments in the Fannie Willis disqualification case. Yeah. And I gotta see that, and I gotta see it with you. Because, oh, it will be fire. It will be so much fire in those closing arguments. But so far, let's continue with this. Oh yeah, March 5th to March 12th or 11th, there is no court. So we will have plenty of time to get updated on everything surrounding this. We have the YSL connected lawyer who got arrested the other week. We have the situation between District Attorney Fannie Willis and YSL Mello that we need to take care of. So we got a lot of content the week of no trial. So buckle up. Buckle up.
All right, they're admitted and may be published as you see fit.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Sliders, I'm going to publish and talk about 120 Charlie. Now, Ms. Landers, what is the event ID for this category?
13-254-1038,
And what date was this generated?
September 11, 2013,
What time was the call initiated?
10:40 a.m. hours,
And what time was the call received?
10:45 a.m. hours.
What was the location, Ms. Landers, of this call?
2614 Old Hateville Road Southwest, Apartment 6, Atlanta.
And what zone of beat was this call in reference to?
Zone 3, 310's beat.
Now, Ms. Landers, up at the top, it says 4-5 larceny. Can you explain what that means?
It's larceny is someone car broken into. That's our sickness for police.
And is that the call type and description of this initial call when it came in?
Yes,
What time did the first responders arrive to this call?
10:46 a.m. hours.
And who were the primary units that responded to this call?
Unit 2310.
Who are under primary unit? Was there any additional officers that assisted?
You have a couple of, you have 2302, 2307, 2308, 2309, 2312, 2313, 2330, 2331, 2343, 2344, 2345, 2391, 2394, 2396.
Is that a unusual amount of officers to respond to the call?
Yes,
Now, I want to ask you about the traffic starting at, in this cab report, at 12:06 to 22 seconds.
are we looking on the second page?
Yes, ma'am. Now, Ms. Ladders, leading up to 12:06, can you explain what this cab report is indicating in terms of what the traffic, how we got to 12:06?
The only way I can explain it, go to page 6.
That's perfect. However, it's best for you to explain it to the jury.
Okay, on page 6, The call came in as a 69, which is 69 is a gun. So the call, you want me to advise?
This is completely unnecessary, in my opinion. I have heard many trials by now. Many. And more or less, they need to, okay, at what time did that happen? At what time did this happen? And it is stipulated, so you don't have to waste everybody's time by showing this. But here we are, I guess. Here we are.
The call advised?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the call advised the 911 operator, 78 on a black male, red hat, red shoes. Second person, black female, black shirt, red shoes, pulled.
Okay, now we have. Okay, now I get it. I retract my statement a few seconds ago. I understand why this isn't stipulated. And yeah.
Out a gun on her and her child. Then caller hung up the phone.
Now, Ms. Ladders, is that what the officers were when they first responded? That was the call that they were responding to?
69 gun, yes.
Now, I wanted to ask you, have you ever seen a CAD report that covers multiple crimes? As an officers respond to one crime and develops in something else?
Yes.
Can you give some explanation for how that may be reflected in a CAD report?
Where you would see where it says related, incident related to. And they give a different incident number.
And if officers, say, for example, were out on one type of call and ended up uncovering or being involved with another that was related on the CAD report, could the radio traffic be captured on the same CAD report?
Yes.
And when that happens, can you possibly have multiple CAD reports that reference one another?
You can.
Now, Ms. Landers, I'm going to publish 122 Charlie Alpha. And before publishing, can you explain this radio traffic in terms of what radio channel is it derived from?
It arrives from the zone is in, zone 3.
Publishing.
Come on, prosecutor.
So, Ms. Landers, are you able to tell the jury after the description that you just read what led up to the traffic around 1206 in terms of what the officers who were out on scene were radioing?
Not looking at this CAD. No, I would listen to the audio.
That's what I want to do. I'm going to publish State's Exhibit 120 Charlie Alpha.
As per usual, let's skip to the cross-examination. Yeah. Let's listen to a part of the traffic between cops and everything.
Okay, radio received.
Radio. I'll be with you in about 1 minute.
Okay, you understand that?
301 to radio.
5301, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a few minutes of that. Oh, that's a lot of minutes. Oh, look at that. It's a sidebar. Sidebar counter number 98. We are closing in on 100. We are closing in on 100 sidebars. Jesus Christ. And sidebar. Oh, he's talking to the jury. Let's see what that is all about. I hope Lauren Seaward has audio on. No.
How you doing in terms of comfort? Anybody? Oh, there's always somebody. Okay, before we go ahead and continue, councils, I think we'll go ahead and take a comfort stretch break. Let's just take 10 minutes.
You do know you can do those comfort breaks when you have a sidebar. Just, okay, we will have the sidebar. Juries, take this break. And then you can do it simultaneously. Home Alone face. Wow, you can do two things at once. Get people on a break, then have your sidebar because you don't know how long it will be. Then you go on a break and then you all reconvene. Unheard of. Ugh. And let's see here how long that break was. 5:10, 5:15, 5:20, 5:25, 5:30. We're up to 20 minutes. An unusual short 15-minute break. Only 22 minutes. It's, yeah. It's a waste of everybody's.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All right, thank you, Sergeant Ingram. All right, Mr. Atkins, you may continue, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Skip ahead to. Oh, more recordings, more recordings, more recordings, more recordings. Now it looks like we are
All the comments that we played with 122 Charlie Delta,
up
Are
to
those-
cross-examination. Please let it be so.
and is some,
Yes.
thank you very much, Ms. Ladner. No further questions from the state, Your Honor.
All right,
Now comes the
Cross.
interesting part.
all right, go ahead.
Now comes the interesting part.
Ms. Latners,
Yes, sir.
welcome back. Let me start off where the prosecutor just left off. You mentioned that sometimes you have law enforcement officers switching from one channel to another one, right?
Right.
And because of that, sometimes you may have or you may hear on radio traffic on a particular channel a call that doesn't have anything to do with the particular incident that had been being discussed. Is that
Correct.
all right? So when you started your testimony and we were showing that CAD report, I remember to have the phone call about black male in a red shirt and red shoes and a black female in, I don't know, red shirt and red shoes or something like that. That had nothing to do with the other call that we've been talking about. Is that true?
They are related.
Okay, they were related.
These two calls?
The one that was at 10:46 or 10:40 something in the morning was unrelated to the call that started around 11:58. Isn't that true?
Well, according to the CAD report,
Uh-huh.
the officer advised his dispatcher,
Mhm.
these two calls are related.
Okay, the officer thinks it was related.
Well, he advised his radio dispatcher.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to come to that in a second, but I want to review the radio traffic with you. Now, you're not the dispatch. You weren't the person taking the call or sending out the dispatch. True.
True.
Right. But you are familiar with the codes that are referenced in the calls or in the dispatch traffic, right?
I started off as a dispatcher, sir, in 1990.
In
1990.
And so you know all of this stuff.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I want to go then to with the state's assistance, their exhibit 120C A. The CAD report, excuse me, the radio traffic. Can I have that? I'm sorry. No, not recording, the CAD, the 120C. Thank you. That's 120CA, is that correct? Let's see. All right. As soon as we get that up, I'm going to ask if we can play specific portions. I want you to listen to them. The radio traffic. That's correct. If that's what you call the recording. All right. You call it recording. I'll call it that. I'm going to have you listen to those. It's a certain portion that I'm going to ask the state to play and then ask you some questions about those, okay? No, some sniffling, you okay?
I'm quite sure I'm not the only one cold in here. Thank you.
All right, so there is some radio traffic at that goes from 0 seconds to 10 seconds. If I can have that one.
63, 27, 28, Old Hill Road. 27, 28, Old Hill. 63.
Let's go to 40 seconds. Yes, please.
Was that a scream for get out? Hold on.
Let's go to 40 seconds.
28, Old Hill Road. 27, 28, Old Hill.
No.
63.
Yeah. I'm quite sure that's a scream for get out. I'm not sure. Y'all lot tell me. Let's see here.
Sixty-three, 27, 28, Old Hill Road. 27, 28, Old Hill. 63.
I hear a scream of get out. That's weird. According to the state's case in this armed robbery, I'm not entirely sure how get out from, and no woman. It was two guys who was robbed, and then allegedly one of them was shot, and then they sped off or something of the sort. Huh.
Let's go to 40 seconds. Yes, please.
Got one subject, 20 minutes.
All right.
Holding one subject, 20.
All right. You heard that traffic, correct?
And one subject in custody, yes.
All right. One subject holding one subject. Is that
Yes.
right? Now that would be. This is probably gonna be difficult. You don't know who that is actually making, who's on the radio saying that, do you?
He did not advise his unit number, no.
And sometimes when they go over the air, they might advise this is unit such and such, and then say what it is they're saying. True?
Yes.
In this case, the only thing that we hear is one subject or holding one subject. So whoever the police officer is that's making that report is indicating that one subject is being held. True?
True.
Okay. If we can go to 122 CB, I guess.
I mean, that get out scream, if that is from a cop, why are they screaming get out? Well, this is a recording. I can see your comments. Yeah, go back and listen to it again yourselves. Isn't that a scream of get out? And if that was the female cop who was on the stand a few days ago saying people got out of the vehicle and then they apprehended them, that's a bit weird, isn't it? It's inconsistent with her testimony. If she screams get out, that indicates to me she's screaming that at a person in a vehicle. Isn't it? You all help me here, chat. You all help me here. I will be in the chat during this, when this is played as a premiere, just so you know.
0 to 10 seconds. First one. And of course, as the radio traffic is coming in, I mean, this is happening. It's being relayed as it happens in real time, right?
Real time.
Okay. Yes.
22 to radio.
Go ahead.
I just asked someone, tell me some units on Cleveland Avenue, Hayville.
All right.
Okay, Cleveland, Owen.
Am I correct that whoever's over the radio at that point just indicated that, quote, they had just shot someone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If we can go to the next one, please. 11 seconds to 27 seconds. Yes.
Hayville signal 15, need units at Cleveland, Hayville. Okay, we don't see him.
9-6, I need you to set up a perimeter. What do you got? Start a 4 over there. He was shooting at someone.
All right. Now, I want to focus on the last part of that. Whoever's making that statement over the radio is indicating that, quote, he was shooting at someone. True?
True.
Okay. Now, I want to jump forward a little bit, down to 1 minute and 31 seconds.
Again, excellent cross-examination.
Do you recognize any of these voices?
No, sir.
Okay, unit stand by.
301 to radio.
5301, go ahead.
Radio, use 126 as the incident location right here on Old Hayesville.
Okay, 126 Old Hateville.
Radio, give me a helicopter and go ahead and shut the scene down.
All right.
All right, units, again, secure the scene, 126 Cleveland Avenue, 50.
Ms. Latner, when the person says in that call, radio, give me a helicopter, is that someone asking, I don't know who they're asking, but asking someone to dispatch a helicopter to assist with this call?
Atlanta has its own helicopter units.
Okay.
So they're asking to start the helicopter units to that location.
Is the helicopter unit or a helicopter referred to as Phoenix?
Yes.
So when you hear someone on call saying something about Phoenix or dispatch Phoenix, they're talking about sending out a helicopter to assist.
Yes.
Okay. How many helicopters did Atlanta police have back then, if you know?
We used to have two.
Okay. And then the person who's actually flying the helicopter would also have access to the radio traffic as well.
Used to have two. I mean, the Atlanta area is over 1 million people, I think. The Fulton County, whatever. So let me check again. County population. Fulton County, 1.1 million. And now they have only one, because used to have two indicates they have less now. That would be one. Where I am, the greater Malmö area in Sweden, we have a population about, in the greater Malmö, I will show you instead. I will show you. Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, let's see here. This is the greater Malmö area. And Malmö, greater Malmö, is more or less from up here, the Helsingborg, and all the way through here, with some cooperation with Copenhagen. I think we have 6 police helicopters. And Fulton County, with that crime area, they have 1. That's insanity. What are you using your taxpayers' money for, Fulton County?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
They'd be able to, for example, describe what they're seeing or request information from those on the ground.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in this case, on 213, please. I want you to listen.
EMS en route. 601. I have no numbers where I am. I'm at the corner laundry. If somebody could come to the rear near the barbershop Profile Institute barber styling, I got one down on the ground.
All right, we're coming around to you. Stand by.
310
coming to you. 310 coming to you right now.
My subject on the ground.
We're with her. We're with her at the Dollar King.
Receive advice on the mail secure.
All right, now, you've heard that person saying, and that sounds like a female officer, am I correct?
It is,
Saying that I have one on the ground.
right.
Generally speaking, would that mean that the officer has someone in custody or apprehended on the ground?
She advised she had one on the ground.
Okay. And then if I'm correct, you hear other officers responding saying they're coming to that location, true?
Correct.
Okay. Now, on the next bit of traffic that comes over at 242, please. I want you to listen to this if you would.
So far, Raider, they're gonna be 3 males so far. 312, we're gonna have 2 over here.
3 males detained.
301, go ahead and put somebody down on the back side going down. What street is that? All right, we got somebody in the back of Profile Institute.
All right. Now, in that piece of radio traffic, you did hear where them say we've got 3 males so far. You heard that, correct?
Correct.
And am I correct that you have one officer saying we have 2 over here, and we're going to have 2 over here, something to that effect?
One said we have 3 males down, have 3 of them. Then one said we have 2 of them.
Okay. Now, obviously you're not there, but you listen to the traffic, and the only thing that the police officers generally are going to be relaying over the traffic is what they're observing or what they're doing at the time. True?
Correct.
All right. So in this case, when the officer, one officer says something to the effect of, we have 3 males so far, you would presume that's what that officer either knows or is observing at the time.
Correct.
All right. Let's go to 410, please. Actually, I'm sorry, 434.
Peter Robertson L.
Stand by, I'm with him.
All right, everybody is safe. We've got one person in front of the Dollar King under arrest. We got 150 at the laundromat. Do we have anybody else?
Okay. Please. When the officer says in this transmission that they have 1 in front of Dollar King under arrest and 150 in front of laundromat, what does 150 in front of laundromat mean?
One person shot.
One person shot.
Yes.
Okay. And did you hear the officer, whoever's making that transmission, asking if they have anyone else? You heard that?
Correct.
Okay.
To my recollection, the argument regarding this is that he was shot by somebody else than the cops, but I could be wrong. This traffic does sound like he was shot by cops, doesn't it?
501, please.
AC standing in front of the corn laundry. 58, you got any outstanding 78s?
Phoenix 1, we're coming up 26, give me 78.
I think we have all the perps in custody. Stand by and I'll confirm that again.
All right.
5301.
There appeared to be a few things there. Did you hear when the person over the radio says or asks, do we have any outstanding 78s? Is that what it was said?
Yes.
Okay, what are they asking there?
Any more description or any more perps?
Okay, so you've got one person asking if there are any more perpetrators.
Right.
And then we heard someone say, Phoenix 1, we are coming up, give me the 78. Now, that was the helicopter pilot on the radio traffic, is that right?
Correct.
And when they say, give me the 78, what are they asking for?
They asking for description of the perps in the
Okay.
area.
And that would generally be because Phoenix 1, the helicopter, is assisting in looking for whatever perpetrators are described by the folks on the ground, true?
Correct.
Now, when we hear the officer who says, I think we have all persons in custody, stand by, I will confirm that. Those are officers talking to each other. Apparently one of them who appears to be checking to see whether they have all of the perpetrators in custody.
Correct.
All right. I'm gonna go to 656, please.
$135 to 5301. Is your scene secure? You have any outstanding suspects? Is the air clear? Can I speak for a second?
The scene is secure as far as suspects go. We're trying to get the citizens out of here and shut the intersection down due to a crime scene.
Okay, I copy that. Is the suspect 48 or is he interrupted Grady? If he is, just need a unit number so we get somebody to meet down there.
All right, copy unit number 6368. Grady is getting ready to go with one low. We got another one waiting on another 4 to arrive. 50 also.
Okay, I copy that. Where?
Ms. Latners, when the officer asks, or whoever it is asks, if the scene is secure, do you have any outstanding suspects? Again, that's them communicating with each other, checking to see whether or not there are any additional suspects that they should be looking for. Does that sound about fair?
Correct.
Okay. Now, I heard someone say that the scene was secure as far as suspects, but we are trying to get citizens out of here. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. Did that sound to you as though you have officer or officers attempting to keep folks who aren't involved out of the location?
Correct.
Okay. And then that would be commonplace, right? Trying to, you don't want to mix up people who happen to be in the parking lot with the suspects that are being referenced on the radio traffic. True?
True.
840, please.
Route, if you could just
All three.
412 Fusion, we copy. You have everybody, guys.
Oh, sorry, folks. I thought I was muted while I was doing the writing things. Sorry.
5301 Rays, Phoenix.
Go ahead, sir. And Phoenix 1, when you get a chance, I'm going to need a unit north of Cleveland on Old Hayfield. You're still having traffic come down there. I don't see anybody down there. But go ahead, sir.
All right. Now, we hear again on this, at this location, at this time, on the radio traffic, them asking, or someone saying that we believe we have all three. You heard that, correct?
Correct.
And then we hear, is that Phoenix, the helicopter?
We believe we have all three, and yet so many cops have testified the last couple of days. Some said 3, some said 3 to 4, and one said 4 to 5. Remember how that inside of that car looked? With a lot of stuff on one seat, or more or less half the seats, back back passenger seat was cluttered. Where would they sit? I would say 3 people. And anybody who went up there and said 4 or 5, that is a false recollection. Let's say it's a false recollection. A very, very convenient false recollection that may or may not have something to do with how they were prepped by the prosecution.
We hear again who's saying that, well, first they try to raise Phoenix. You heard that?
Correct.
And then Phoenix responds and says, I don't see anybody down here.
Correct.
Let's go to 1251, please.
Radio Rays in Phoenix.
Hey, they sent a female. Do we have a female in custody? Black female with blonde hair? right, 5301. We know we're missing a black female with a blonde wig. Stand by for a second. Sergeant Daniels, you're going to follow down first.
All right. We heard several voices there. You did hear a female voice, officer, initially asking if we have a black female in custody with blonde hair. That would signify that that's what they're looking for. True?
I don't know if it was a female voice though.
Okay. But you did hear them, whoever it was. We don't know exactly which officer it was, but whoever it was, we hear them asking about if they have a black female in custody with blonde hair. You heard that?
Correct.
Okay. And you tell me if I heard this correctly, do we hear a separate voice saying we know we're missing a black female with a blonde wig?
Correct.
And would I be correct in assuming that officers, separate and apart from what you're hearing on the radio traffic, are communicating with each other down on the ground? Is that generally how it works?
They don't say everything over the radio, sir.
Right. And so they could be, for example, receiving information, one officer from another one, and then relaying that information over radio traffic, right?
Correct.
All right. So you might have an officer who gets a description from another officer and then puts it out on the radio so that they know what they're looking for. Is that about fair?
Correct.
Okay. Let's go to 1540, please.
Grady unit.
Link. Phoenix 1, that's affirmative. I'm getting it up for you. Let me know when you get a picture. Be advised, you got a female still outstanding with a blonde lace wig on the front. Don't have a clothing description.
1600, please.
See the outstanding female with a blonde lace wig.
310, I'm be on Hayville. I'm gonna be checking the kudzu for this female. See she would have ran back this way on Hayville.
See, checking the kudzu. Repeat your unit number.
Okay, so we hear someone asking or saying that the female was still outstanding with a blonde lace wig up front. You heard that, correct?
Correct.
All right, so
at the time, on radio, they were more or less all in agreement. We are looking for or seeing a black female with a blonde wig who, according to another testimony, was blessed on the upper shelf. And yet the prosecution claimed, nope. 45 black men. Nah.
look, I don't know the difference between a lace wig and a regular wig, but it's clear that they are looking for a female with a blonde wig of some sort, right?
Correct.
And did I hear correctly that there's an officer who's in the process of checking the kudzu to see if the female was in that area?
Yes.
All right. Let's go to, and by the way, you may or may not have the times in front of you. Is it fair to say, because I'm jumping around a little bit, do you have where they first start asking about the black female in custody with blonde hair to the part that we just heard about the officer checking the kudzu for that female, that it's about 3 minutes or so?
You don't have that on this CAD report.
Okay,
It all depends on what the dispatcher want to put in the CAD report when she typing.
got you. All right, so there may be, well, it's happening over a period of time, true?
True.
All right, let's go to 1811, please.
This cross-examination is so good. They get to cherry pick because the prosecution had to bring in this evidence. Now, at first, they wanted to just play it without a witness. That didn't succeed. So that's why Miss Sharon Latness is on the stand. And the defense is rocking it. Again.
Can any of you advise the 78 of the female what she was wearing? I got black female blonde wig. We have height, weight, clothing description.
All right, repeat the description again.
I need to get a good description. I got black female with a blonde wig. Can we get a height, weight on her, clothing description?
Negative. She was a driver, all we know. We never saw the physical height of her. If you got one detained, can you bring it this way? Porter can identify her.
Okay, let's stop that.
Yeah, we're gonna start canvassing the area right now.
All right. So did you hear on that traffic where one unit is asking, advising what the 78 is that description?
Yes,
What the 78 of was the female, what the female was wearing, asking for height, weight, clothing description from anyone else who's listening on the channel, correct?
correct.
All right. Then you heard another voice saying that she was the driver. We never seen her physical description, but Porter can identify her. Did you hear that part?
Yes,
Okay. Do you know who Officer Porter is?
no,
Do we know whether or not any of the voices on the radio traffic is Officer Porter?
I can't advise.
Basis.
Platinum, you said she doesn't know this Porter?
I stand the objection.
All right. Let's hear 1844, please.
Her last direction of flight.
Okay, somebody said that she jumped over the fence. I don't know how.
Okay, you stop that, please. All right. Now, Ms. Latners, I presume you're not familiar with the area that was being discussed on the radio traffic, right?
Correct.
Right. What you do know, though, is that one of those officers just said that somebody said that she jumped over the fence and then follows up with, I don't know how. You heard that?
Correct.
Just listening to the radio traffic, we don't know what fence they're talking about, do we?
No, sir.
We don't know if it's a regular fence or a fence with a big, huge barbed wire all around it. We don't know that.
Don't know.
It was a huge fence with a barbed wire. At least according to the state later on. That's where the other suspects disappeared. We don't know. It might have been another fence somewhere else. We don't know. But the fence, the prosecution moves to, they jumped over there. We saw that on the previous, from day 36. That's a barbed wired fence.
$19.10, please.
Investigator Moody.
12326. Give me the name of this perpetrator, please. Give me the name of this perpetrator. It's in the back of the Brady bus. I'm sorry, Sarge. Say that again. I couldn't hardly hear you. Hey, Sarge, I got you. It's Frederick Prothero, and the other one is Walter Murphy. Frederick Prothero and Walter Murphy.
All right, thank you.
Got Walter Murphy. What's the second one?
When they reference when the person is called references the name of the perpetrator in the back of the Grady bus, what is that? Is there a bus or a van of some sort that transports injured individuals to Grady Hospital? Like
It's an ambulance.
It's a what now?
Ambulance.
Ambulance, okay. You did hear them reference the two names, Frederick Prothero and Walter Murphy, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. It's fair to say that this, the CAD and the radio transmission that we're talking about here, the ones I've just read and asked you to, if you've heard and identified, goes from about close to 12 o'clock to about 12:30. Does that sound about right?
Correct.
All right. Then there's another one that picks up, the one that was played for you. I think that's, let's see, 122 CD. Yes, please. That is essentially a continuation of the radio traffic we were hearing previously, correct?
Correct.
And this one would be, and you heard some excerpts, I'm going to ask you to listen to them again. You heard some excerpts where you have essentially officers and investigators, detectives who are talking to each other and given instructions over the radio traffic, correct?
Correct.
So for example, in the, let's go to 640. I want you to listen to this one.
All right, we have some vehicles down here.
Are you clear?
05, just about to pull in with you. I'm clear. Tell me where you need me.
Received. Bye-bye.
Radio, raise on scene commander out there on the shooting.
Raise to 5301.
It's 5326 radio.
Go ahead.
96 raise 308. 308. Hey, I got somebody gonna put in the back of your car. I need you to keep an eye on. I'm right over here. I'm coming. Units, if you guys see a Toyota Tundra green in color, let that vehicle inside. It's going to be the owner. You can access the video footage for us.
All right.
Did you all hear that? Did you all hear that? Let's play that again.
If you guys see a Toyota Tundra green in color, let that vehicle inside. It's going to be the owner. You can access the video footage for us.
All right.
Let's listen to that again.
Units, if you guys see a Toyota Tundra green in color, let that vehicle inside. It's going to be the owner. You can access the video footage for us.
All right.
And every cop known to man in this trial makes excuses. The prosecution makes excuses. And here we have it on the record. He's going there to retrieve the surveillance footage for them. Where is it? Where is it? It kind of sounds like when the officer Velasquez was on the stand the other day and said, well, he raises testimony if he thinks they are lying. And once they tell him what he wants to hear, that's the recording he keeps and puts in his report. It almost sounds like the same happened with that video surveillance, doesn't it? That he didn't like what was on it speculatively and got rid of it. Doesn't it? Detective Queen, whatever his name is.
Now, you heard that, correct?
Correct.
And that appears to be one officer kind of sending out an alert to other officers, asking them if they see specifically a green Tundra, and going on to say that it's going to be the owner who can access the video footage. You heard that?
Correct.
All right. Now, from that one clip, right, you don't know what video footage or the owner of what they're talking about, true?
True.
Right. All we know from that at that point, though, is that there are officers who are talking to each other about letting the quote owner in because the owner can access the video footage. We heard that, right?
Correct.
Okay. If I can go to 825, please.
Sending the green Tundra is the owner of the laundromat, green Tundra, coming up to the crime scene.
Yeah, let him through. His name should be Khan, I think.
All right, thank you. All right, now, in that transmission, though, you'd agree there's a little bit more information, correct?
Correct.
You hear one officer not just saying that the name of the owner should be Khan, but also that this is the owner of the laundromat. You heard that?
Correct.
All right. And then, of course, you have officers who are clearly, by virtue of what we're hearing, telling other officers to let that person through.
Correct.
Let's go to 1413, please.
Hey, let him up. Let him up.
Okay, command, can you advise if we need to set up a separate channel for this incident?
Hey, what time does call come up, radio?
Okay, the original call or when the 63 came up?
This is 63. We're trying to watch the video right now to get a good time frame.
Stand by.
Let's listen to that again.
3 came up.
This is 63. We're trying to watch the video right now to get a good time frame.
We are trying to watch the video right now to get a time frame. So not only did they expect the owner to something, at least one officer is watching the surveillance video. And yet prosecution and everybody collects no, that's we not always we need to collect video surveillance because discretionary blah 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 blah. Somebody on that scene watched that video. Who? If it is anyone who was on the stand, who got the question and denied knowing anything about it, yeah, that's rough. If I were the prosecution now, I would throw this case, this underlying case, out the window. It's gone. It should be gone. Keeping it in undermines everything else. Everything else.
Stand by.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you. All right, now, that was about 20, 30 seconds or so, but what we heard in that one was one officer asking about setting up a separate channel, right?
Correct.
And then another officer asking about what time the 63 came in.
Correct.
63 is?
Help call for APD.
Okay, and that's of course a help call that started this all together, right?
Correct.
All right, so this officer is asking what time that call came in. And did you hear him say that they were trying to watch the video right now?
Correct.
Okay. And then the
I'm not sure if they had body cam in 2013. So anything about the video, I assume is about the surveillance video. I have to check. The PD body cam 2013. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. When did the PD get body cam? From a quick Googling, I don't get a proper result. Dun 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 dun. No, I'm not getting a proper result on a quick search. So I'm assuming they didn't have body cams back then. And the only video they are watching is the surveillance video.
At 15:08, please.
Maybe they will talk about it.
57, 55. 305 and 26.
305, 26. Okay, the 63 came up around 11:58, around 11:58.
All right. That appears to be, from what we're hearing, the dispatcher responding to the officer who had asked previously about the time. That 63 came up about 11:58. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay. And so, if I'm correct, we've got an officer asking for the time because they are trying to watch the video right now, right?
right,
That was after you had the owner, according to the dispatch, showing up and being let through in the green Tundra, right?
not the dispatch officer.
The officer, excuse me, the officer, right? And then that was also after another officer advises, let him through, his name should be Khan, and he can access the video, right?
Correct,
And that he is the owner of the laundromat.
correct,
And then that they are, quote, trying to watch the video right now.
correct.
All right. All right. You were asked about, let's see, state's exhibit. If I can, with the state's help, please put up that, the CAD report. I think that's 122C.
Mhm.
What the CAD is.
121C.
There you go. Ms. Latners, you are a great help. Thank you. All right, put that up if you can, please. Please. Yes.
What an amazing day.
This call comes in and there is, am I correct that there's no identification as to who the person is that's making a call?
It just advised female caller.
Right. So there's nothing in this CAD or for that matter in the actual 911 call we had that tells us who the person is, right?
Correct,
Or how they come by whatever they're relaying in the call, correct?
correct.
Okay. You heard reference in the call to something about a neighbor, something like that? If you recall.
She said a friend.
A friend. There's no indication for us to figure out who that friend is, right?
No,
Okay. Or how that friend would have come by any information that that quote unquote friend may have.
correct.
The caller makes reference to police officers out there at the location. Did you hear that? In a 911 call?
Say that again.
The caller makes reference to police officers at the complex or something like that?
Yeah, she advised they was out there looking for somebody.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that that caller didn't have a lot of specific information?
According to the call, no.
Okay.
Pausing to remind you all, hit that thumbs up, please. It's free. And then subscribe if you haven't yet. All the thousands and I'm recording this, so I'm not entirely sure how many of you are here watching this premiere. I'm very grateful you are. Hit the thumbs up. All right. Let's continue.
All right. If I can have just one moment, Judge.
Yes.
Thank you. Judge, that's all I have for this.
All right, thank you, sir. Anybody else? Any redirect?
Just a brief redirect, Your Honor.
We'll see how brief it is.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Ladders,
Yes.
do you know where Phoenix is housed?
They used to be housed at the airport.
And when they're raising in Phoenix, do you know how long it would take them to get from the airport to any specific location?
I can't advise. It all depends if they got gas, so they advise the dispatcher how long it will take them. It all depends on the weather, so they will let the dispatcher know how long they'll be en route.
That makes sense. Now, I wanted to ask you, and you have it in front of you, State's Exhibit 120 Charlie, on page 3 at 12 minutes and 49 seconds. It starts with Papa Hotel X-ray 1. Do you see that, Ms. Ladders?
What time did you say?
12:49 and 7 seconds.
Okay.
Can you describe what that indicates?
That's when you go through GCIC, each terminal has its own GAPD number. So that's somebody's terminal number, which is 2308. Each police car has its own MDTs in their vehicle. And each MDT has its own terminal number. And all Georgia terminal numbers start with GAAPD, such and such and such. But that's the number that GCIC give them.
And when it says PHX1, what does that indicate?
I don't see a PHS.
Are you looking at 120 Charlie, Ms. Ladders?
Yes.
On page 3? On, right there.
That's Phoenix 1. That's the air unit.
And what does OW mean, Ms. Ladders?
Out with.
And what's the time on that?
It advised at 12:49 PM hours.
And was that 911 call we had listened to? What time did that come in?
From this CAD,
Yes, ma'am.
10:40 AM hours,
Oh, and on the other CAD report, when you played the 911 call, what time was that?
12:32 PM hours.
So is that Phoenix out with that you referenced at 12:49, is that before or after the 911 call we listened to?
This, the only, 121C,
Yes, ma'am.
it's gonna be after.
And can Atlanta Police Department, Phoenix helicopters, can they see in homes or apartment buildings?
No,
No further questions, Ms. Ladders, thank you.
Anything further?
Yes, can we shut up, please?
Oh, she really don't want to be there.
Out with means, like it sounds, like the unit is out at that time?
out with the units, yes.
Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what time the unit left out, right?
No, it doesn't mean he left out. He just advised out with.
Okay, if we're looking at those two entries where it says PHX1, and go all the way across, to the 1, 2, 3, 4th column where it says, going up. Can we, exactly what we were looking at before. There you go. Right. We go over a bit where it says, let's look at the first PHX1. PHX1, OW, then there's a date, 9/11/2013, 12:49:07 p.m. And right next to it says OW 2310. What is 2310?
2310 was the primary unit on this call, so
Okay.
he's the primary. Phoenix One advised he's out with 2310 on this call.
Okay. And so who's the primary? Do we know who 2310 is?
No, I don't know the units number. Units, period.
All right. But looking at this, this report tells us that although the unit Phoenix One reports that they're out at a particular time, 12:49:07, it doesn't say, for example, what time they left the Atlanta airport or what time they're actually at the location. True?
Looking at this report, no.
All right. And I know that, if you're in a helicopter and you look down, you can't see through walls and into apartments. You can see if anyone's walking down the street or running down the street, right?
Correct.
All right. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Anything further? Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, may Ms. Latners be permanently, temporarily excused the witness.
Temporarily excused, Your Honor.
Sorry, we're gonna call you back at some point in time. All right, madam, but we'll give you as much.
Oh, yeah, I like her. I like her a lot. I don't want to know what she whispered to the judge, but yeah.
As notice as we can. Thank you for your patience with us, and please don't discuss testimony of anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, madam. All right.
And here's the thing. If the witnesses all are signaling this is a waste of my time, the jury picks this up. I can almost guarantee it. The jury will pick up everything about this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is a little after 5, and we're at a natural stopping point for today.
When will they reconvene on day 39?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's order of businesses, I'd like you here for 9 o'clock for an anticipated 9:30 start time. We're going to go to
It's
probably about 1 or
9:30.
2 tomorrow, and then we will conclude for the day, okay? So,
Sorry.
what are you, what 9 o'clock for an anticipated 9:30 start time. We're going to go to probably about 1 or 2 tomorrow, and then.
Okay, so a short day. Huh, okay. Now, I'm not going, I can't stream it. I will, when I get home from work, I will do a recording. I will do a recording. All right. And then I will put it up. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I can stream it, but as a live stream, not a premiere. When I get back from work. Yeah, that has to. Maybe I don't know. No promises. I can't make promises. But what I can say is that we are getting close to 100 sidebars. And even if Thursday is a short day, okay, we need to do something for the 100. We need to do something for the 100. All right. But, folks, thank you again for allowing me to try to translate and do this with you. I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you who are here with viewers, the thumbs up, the subscriptions, all the super chats. No worries. Thank you. And yeah, hug your family. Unless your family is crap, then screw them. And give your love to somebody who deserves it. Okay? See you. Bye-bye.